MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
Welcome and good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, along with our special guest, Miss Madison.
Yes, I'm back, and I'm very tired again. I didn't go to bed till 12 a.m.
Why?
I couldn't go to sleep.
There's no reason.
I drank like 3 coffees yesterday, though.
So you're saying that kept you awake?
It's possible, but am I going to do it again? Yeah, I am. Because I need energy.
I'm one of those that I could drink a cup of coffee 30 minutes before I go to bed, and it still not affect me anymore. I just like coffee.
I think you've become immune to it for all the years you have to wake up at 3 a.m. that your body is just I don't care anymore.
It does, and I think that is true to a degree, to where it gets me motivated, but it doesn't keep me awake, so to speak. And years and years back to the early 80s, not the late 80s when I started in radio, it become a habit. I didn't even drink coffee until I started that on a regular basis.
Wonder how wired you were back then.
Wired. Good morning to everyone. We hope you're doing well. We do have some rain showers as we kind of look at the weather today of what's going on. Let's pull up radar so you'll know exactly where it is in relation to, where you live this morning.
I can tell you, it's freaking cold out there because I stepped outside and that wind about blew me away. Oh, my gosh.
It's chilly. Going to be dropping today. We're looking for a high no more than 39. At one point, they said it would drop to 36. That's possible. Here we are, Meridian, Mississippi here. Kemper County still getting some showers. Neshoba County barely getting a drizzle now, right here in that corner as you come into Lauderdale County. But the further south, the more light rain that we have here. Nothing heavy. We do have some heavier showers to the way south of our area down here in Gulfport. If you're traveling toward Pascagoula, Biloxi near the lighthouse, it's some rain there. As you go into Florida, Pensacola, and those areas are getting wet this morning. Now, we do watch as this moves out. What is this purple stuff?
Yeah, what's all that red, that looks like snake?
Let's turn this right there. Is that what you're talking about?
No, toward the water.
Toward the water. That is
red.
Oh, well, we can take a look and see. That is going to be a lake wind advisory and small craft advisory. The purple in the state of Mississippi is this winter weather advisory that we have beginning tonight at 6 p.m. that will roll on until tomorrow at noon. Now, they've revamped this, and let me show this. I've got this pulled up here where there's a revision in the forecast for Mobile. Originally, Butler, Alabama was included in this. This has gone south now and picks up in Wiggins, Mississippi, and cuts across just north above Mobile and across toward Greenville, Alabama. So a big change in what the forecast had it more northerly. That's dropped further south to the coast. So no worries now in Butler, Alabama, and Choctaw County, Alabama. It's going to be south of y'all if you're watching from that area this morning. So good news for you. What we have to watch is all those bridges along the coastline, and also keep in mind Baton Rouge, the big bridge that goes over the Mississippi River. That could be a nightmare tomorrow morning. We'll watch that, let you know what comes on that. If you've got a truck driver in your family, as you move up the northeast coast, as we get out of Mississippi and Alabama and Georgia, the Carolinas is where this storm is headed that's going to be awful. They will have ice, lots of snow, more of an ice event occurring for them in the Carolinas. And let me show you this back on radar. This is where this is headed, up through this area here. It's going to be a mess. So if you've got friends, family that live there, or somebody that has to drive a truck for a living, let them know, because you can be on the road traveling 2 or 3 days and not really pay attention to the weather.
Yeah, that sounds awful, trying to drive through that. Yesterday, saw a video. I don't know where it's at, but there was this one solid part of ice. People kept constantly spinning out on it because it was just suddenly there, and then
Actually, I want to say that I shared that. I think I did. Let me go over here.
I see stuff on Facebook and I watch it, and I don't look who posted it.
Yeah, here it is
that
right
thing
here.
Right there, yeah.
This is what she's talking about there. As you pull this up where you can see this, this is North Carolina. And everybody that comes along, there's another truck.
All of a sudden there.
That's black ice is what that is. And it's just constant car after car that loses control and wrecks right there in that spot. Some more serious than others, but this is just a prime example.
I would be terrified right now. I'd be crying.
Yeah.
Because I'd be so scared of someone behind me hitting me. I think this one's a bad one.
Yeah, this is. He loses control and can't recover it with that trailer. Fortunately, of the video, as I watched through there was no one seriously hurt, but that's black ice.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
You can't control it.
Like, I know, like, when people are like, oh, you can clearly see it. You're not in the car driving, and you can't see it when you're driving. It's a different view than what the camera has on it.
Correct. So there you go. Keep that in mind. Let's look at a few other things that have gone on locally. That's a quick look at weather, what's coming to the south of us. Keep those friends and neighbors, because you can always lose power down there as you go into this.
Yes, and stay bundled up, too. It's going to be freezing cold.
Yeah, that in the 30s for a high, that's cold.
If you have a fat dog, put them on top of you. They're a great heater. Granny has a fat wiener dog, and she is like a heater. So if you got one, just put them on top of you. It'll work great.
Bless her heart. She just kind of wobbles around. Her little legs are that long, and her belly rubs the ground everywhere she goes.
This big around. Poor Lulu. She's like a stuffed hot dog. That's what she is.
It does look like that. I agree with you. We had as we go to Clark County Hot Topics yesterday, let me pull this up and show you what went on here. This was in Shibuda. As we go to Clark County Hot Topics, this was an accident that happened yesterday. And very serious wreck. I don't know how the person is, but they had to get them out of this vehicle. They were rushed to a hospital, lost control, one single vehicle accident, hit a tree. A big thank you to all the rescue that went on taking care of the wreck there. Clark County Hot Topics was on that. Think about it. The cheetah was busy yesterday with that wreck there.
That's how they still have a refund.
Yeah.
It's Christmas time. Love that.
Yeah, it is. And accidents can happen so quickly. There's no other way to word this. Just pay attention where you're going, what you're doing there. Tommy Long, how are you watching us from Stonewall today? We do appreciate that. Also, Carmichael watching there.
Y'all ready for the cold? Because I'm not.
Chad White had some interesting news yesterday. This is breaking here, and there's no other way to word it. We'll just chunk it up there. Who's this gentleman? Well, he was the former Covington emergency manager. He's been arrested for embezzlement.
Oh, nice.
What he was doing was he fudged some receipts for reimbursement and gave a few employees extra hours. He's got a return about $17,000 is what they've charged him at. He now faces 15 years in jail to think about that.
That's a lot of money. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, so taxpayer, there's never been anybody that stepped into the state auditor's office that has done what Chad White has done. And forever, I thought it was Chad. And let me spell that, S-H-A-D. I've never known anybody named Shad before. He's the first one.
There's some interesting names out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of new names coming up that I'm questioning that people are naming their babies.
It's like, what were your parents doing when they named you? I agree with you, Madison.
Yeah, my name is going to be Kristen, and I was going to be called Paige. I don't know what Mama was thinking.
Well, she wouldn't let me have any say-so in your name.
I don't blame her either.
Well, I named your brother, and she didn't want me to name you for some reason.
Well, yeah, because I'm the one baby girl.
Well, see, I really think you should have been Ray in your middle name, but no.
No, why? I like mine being the different one. I like Paige better than Ray.
Madison Page.
And there you go. It's not Madison Ray.
But it has a ring to it if you really think about it.
I don't want to think about it.
So you had that conversation with your parents of, why did you name me this?
Yes, exactly.
Always a good conversation around the kitchen table for you there. And for those of you who are watching, this is my daughter filling in for Candace. I checked in on Candace yesterday. Still not up to par, but she's doing a little better. We wish her a full recovery from the Omicron.
Ugh.
All up in her house.
The nasty one. Well, they're all kind of nasty.
Let's see here. Jeremiah Johnson says, go ahead and get your fertilizers for your garden now because there will be a shortage of it this spring. Good point there.
Better tell Mama.
Didn't think about that.
Well, we don't need that now.
Okay, well, I hadn't done too well at growing watermelons. I try every year, and they never work out, do they? Oh, a few
You
of the
tried your
thoughts there.
best.
I did. It just hasn't. Big thank you to Della Yerby watching us from Enterprise this morning. Do appreciate that. Glad to see you there. Also, Tanya Long joining us there from Gilberttown, Alabama. Been through Gilberttown many times. Thank you for joining us there. So many of you, we want to hear where you're watching from. If you're watching on television, you can join us on social media and communicate with us while we're live here on television. Thank you so much. As we go over a few incidents that happened yesterday, we mentioned we hadn't brought up that Meridian Public Schools, Meridian High School, and also Poplar Springs Elementary are going virtual. Why, you ask?
I'm getting sickly.
Yep, it is all because of Omicron. They will do this. It will go back to classes on the 25th of January is what the schedule to what everybody is thinking.
It's not so bad. Staying at home for like a week or so, it seems like.
A mini vacation?
Kinda.
It's when you go past a week.
Yeah, but like you got to stay at home and still do schoolwork though.
There's been so many people that nationwide, and I say this, that either their parents worked or whoever was watching them didn't dedicate them to doing what they were supposed to. And education is lacking now due to all of this virtual. We all know that. There's no other way to word it. It happens, and gosh, we hate that because America needs to be as educated as we can. We need that schooling because there's other countries that, well, they want to take over us. Education will get us there. We have to have our schools for our kids. We did have, let's see, I think this was on Tuesday night. I just got the word on that. Somebody woke up and found out that, well, somebody come by and put a bullet hole or two in their car. Whoops.
What?
That was the 900 block of 48th Avenue. That does happen.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
You wake up and you just bullet holes everywhere. Oh my gosh.
Car damage there. We also yesterday afternoon, I don't have all the details on this just yet, but I say this is a safety measure. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. When you pull up somewhere and you jump out your car to go into business, do not leave it running. We had a BMW that was borrowed in Meridian, Mississippi yesterday. They got out of the car on South Frontage Road and whoop, it was gone.
Ugh.
It was located an hour or two later down by exit 150 at another business. He seemed to be not acting normal, and they called the law to come investigate. He got
not acting normal?
Yeah, he got a free ride downtown to discuss it.
I can't even leave like anything in view when I leave my car. I have to just like hide everything because I'm paranoid. Like, what if they like my cute little $5 plastic thingy in my car? Well, I'm going to hide that because someone might want it, even though it's useless. They might want it.
It may be, but it would cost you $100 or better to replace the window that they bust out. And they just do damage. Aren't y'all sick of this?
People are mean, honestly. I'm tired of people
that do this type of things. We had an incident last night on T.M. Jones Road, which is just off Valley Road. We had someone lose control of their truck, turn over on its side. They're okay, but that did happen. Watch these wet roads this morning. Make sure your truck has traction, unlike mine. Mine does not. So if I spin out, I'm gone. It's a slippery and a sliding little slope there, as we say that. We got more coming up, so don't go away. As we talk about this slipping and sliding, where do you go when that does happen to you? Well, Chet's Paint and Body. He's one of the best in Meridian. You don't have to worry about your car not matching. There's many places that you go to that, well, your fender doesn't match your door anymore. It looks bad. Chet's not going to let that happen. They've got experts that work for him that do this. If it comes to honesty and dependability, a man that shakes your hand, gives you his word, it's going to be Chet. And that's what they do every day, all day long. 737-2961. This is one of those vehicles that's had the deer dance. Yeah, what we're talking about, they want to run into your car. They put it back the way it was. They'll make sure that it's all, you won't even see that it ever looked like this. Door damage to front end damage on cars. They've got all of this as we look at the Fords with these, well, that new body style that's got the aluminum beds. They fixed that also. They can fix that for you. Get it going again. If you've had somebody back into you there or you slide into a pole, that happens. They'll put it back. Here's their paint booth. Well, it keeps all that dust out of there. Classics, they do those as well. It's all fancy. It is 69 Camaro. As we look at this, that's Chet's. See them. Highway 495. They'll help you with the insurance work there. Call your insurance company and get your rental car all lined up. They do that for you at Chet's Paint and Body. Talk to them at 737-2961.
I'm attorney Richard Schwartz. Why do bikers hire us after their accident? Let's ask them.
I was on my way home and a car just rear-ended me. I called Richard Schwartz because I needed help with the medical bills. I feel like his team has done a great job in representing me and taking care of me. Don't hesitate to call Richard Schwartz. That one call, it will make a difference.
One call, that's all.
Okay, in all the places in Meridian, let me ask you this. Where should you keep your cool?
You're cool?
Yeah, like you have a temper tantrum.
Oh, I thought you meant like a cooler.
No, I'm like temper tantrum. Where would be the one place that you shouldn't do that?
Out in public, obviously.
Right.
Don't do it in your car either. People can watch you.
Let's name a specific business, Madison, where it probably isn't of your best interest to show your hiney.
That's probably anywhere.
Let's go on down to, let's say the police department.
Oh, yeah, that's not probably the worst place to do that, actually.
I haven't gotten all the details, but somebody didn't like the fine that they had to pay and might have overturned a table and then thought, oh, that wasn't smart. Let me run now. You're on camera. They'll bring you back so you can discuss it with them a little more.
Why the police department, out of all places, to do it? That's like immediate arrest. And
yeah, that's not using your noggin. But there's a lot of people, as you and I both know, that, don't have a lot of that.
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
There's nothing in that brain.
Yeah. As Angela said, also the police department, Sandy says court. You do that in front of a judge, and he's really going to make your life bad.
One wrong word, and you can say bye-bye to you. Yeah.
So that happened there. We'll find out more on that. Let's see here, other things that happened. We had, I talked about the car that was kind of borrowed there.
Kind of.
Yeah, kind of borrowed there without the permission of people. So what went on yesterday across America? As we start looking at headlines there, did you imagine I forgot about it, that Biden, for the first time in 78 days, was going to hold a press conference.
No.
Did anybody watch it?
No, I didn't.
Well, I completely forgot about it, and I got caught up in other things going on. But as I read the headlines today, this turned out to be not so good for him. The purpose of the press conference was to show that he's really in charge. He can answer questions and handle things. Well, as critics are saying, total disaster from yesterday. And as I read some of the highlights on this, the Russia question. Russia is trying to invade Ukraine. And at some point during this, he goes, well, it's okay if you do just a little bit.
What makes you say that?
Well, it's okay to invade a country that we're supposed to be protecting? Come on.
That's sounds not okay to me.
Yeah, that went south from there. Point number 2 that they brought up was the overpromise in his performance, to where we all know that this has not been his first year, been anything. His ratings are plunging. His approval record, the inflation is up 7%. Afghanistan, the 5G rollout, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit, are a few of the things and he didn't get his voter thing done. That was what everything he's done has been a disaster. Yet he tried to stand in front of America and go, I'm really great. It's working great. As you pay almost $4 for a gallon of gas and hamburger meat at $15 for a pound.
I know the biggest thing people voted him for is for the student loan forgiveness, where they'll take out all your loans and you won't owe anything. And
a lot of people did do that.
And that kind of backfired because he said, never mind, it's not going to happen. So,
yeah, that's Biden. And he also, this happened also, a gentleman with Real Clear Politics asked him a question during the press conference, and he lost his cool on the guy, started yelling at him. We've seen Joe do this. And the reporter, of course, he was also the one that Donald jumped on. But Biden lost it on the guy. He lost his temper. He doesn't need to do that.
Does this one reporter just make everyone mad?
Yeah, he probably does.
It seems like he probably does it on purpose.
He hit one of those points where they didn't want to answer. And it's like,
there it is.
He lost his cool on that. Now, did we have other agencies that after it go, it was the most wonderful thing I've ever watched? You bet. They rushed to it. As you look at some of these comments, Biden got an A+. The press conference, that was a C. But he done wonderful. It's just ludicrous of these comments over this.
Wow.
Overall performance, it was not good. It was not good.
Well, I'm pretty sure with some of those comments, there's some money behind it, you know?
You never know there. So that's what happened yesterday with the press conference. You may have viewed it differently. If you did, let us hear from you. We'd like to hear your opinion on that as well as we see this. The 5G rollout, and I'll get that because I need to get some actual quotes there of what the airports are saying that's going on with this. As we saw Joe Manchin join the Republicans, it was shot down in a vote of 52 to 48 on his filibuster and the voting thing that happened. The filibuster is not going to happen. It was voted down. Another defeat for Joe. And that needed to happen. Joe Manchin votes the way the people of his state really feel, and that's good. Okay, another thing that happened, and you and I were talking about this, Madison. I think each and every one of us, maybe there's one person out there that never watched, what was the guy that played the part in the movie, A Night at the Museum?
Oh, massive.
You know his face.
Yes.
Ben Stiller? Is that his name? Ben Stiller? Is that it?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think that's who it was.
Night at the Museum, main guy character, the night guard. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I think his name was Ben.
Well, what happened in America last night? Among the cloakness of darkness, crews showed up in New York City.
Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller, that is it.
Thank you, Mama.
They showed up in the middle of night in darkness with trucks, and they removed Teddy Roosevelt because New York City has now decided that Teddy Roosevelt is racist, and he must go away. He's been removed from the Natural Museum of Art. Yeah, I'm speechless.
I think they should watch Night at the Museum again and again and again and realize that it's not, and that movie
People.
too, like,
isn't this awful?
yeah, people are.
Now, where's Teddy headed? He is headed to North Dakota. They have made a deal for them to have him on loan for long term. He's been there since 1940 in front of it. He's no more racist today than he was then. This is people's opinion that are trying to change history in America. I'm concerned, and I certainly hope that if you're watching, you're concerned about this. We don't need our statues, our whole America torn apart. Is it going to stop here? Absolutely not. Y'all watch, George Washington will fall. You will start seeing anything that Ben Franklin was on disappear if we keep leadership the way it is now. Let's hope that this can be stopped nationwide before we have no history. And as we all know, when you don't have history, history actually repeats itself in bad ways. I shake my head on that
Sounds
one.
like I'm going to move out of the country.
Yeah.
And go to like Sweden and stay there and mind my business. Sounds like a good idea to me.
It does to me too.
You want to fund it? I need some money for that.
Don't I fund a lot still for you?
A little bit.
A little bit?
But that's a I need that. I need some money. I need it right now. Please.
I hear you. I hear you. Madison. Anybody else got a daughter like that?
I'm the best.
Oh, you're the best?
Yes.
Well, you are my only daughter.
Exactly. That's why I'm the best.
Okay. So that ranked you up there.
Yes.
Are you a big Alec Baldwin fan? Me and you've never discussed that ever in our lives.
I can't really remember a movie that I liked him in. Granted, I don't watch movies, but like,
Yeah, he's
he's just there, and I'm just like, okay.
He's a smart aleck. Everything that I've ever seen him off camera, he really has a bad attitude. He's getting sued this morning, and you think, well, it's about the movie. No, it's not. He made a comment on social media about someone, and the way this reads, he's being sued for defamation. The sister of a Marine that was killed in Afghanistan during the withdrawal was at the January 6th rally in Washington, and he started calling her names, and she's suing him for that. Because she was there. That's not really good.
You can sue someone for calling you names?
Well, publicly. When you don't...
I was about to sue a lot of people.
He didn't have anything to back up what he said.
So he was just calling her names, just call her names.
Right. Her picture was in the news because she was there, and he started calling her names, and she goes,
Okay, that makes more sense because I thought he was just
Pick
being
someone out of a phone book?
Yeah, just kind of being mean. But okay, that makes sense.
She was there, her picture was posted, and he started making...
And she didn't like
She was
that.
there in support of her brother that was killed.
Yeah.
And
He was being ugly.
Yeah. Boy. So he'll face that. Now, will anything happen with it? We don't know. We see a lot of lawsuits that go to court. Now, and that's another thing, and I think each and every one of you watch this. Our courts are so bogged down with bogus lawsuits, don't we need somebody that there's a lower court to where they go before and they go, no, this is not going to court, go away, go home, mind your own business.
It's kind of like those people, you looked at me, I'm going to sue you for that. Did you bother me? Like, do you just have money to throw away? Because suing people costs a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Well, here's the problem with that. You've got a lot of attorneys that go, well, we'll do this pro bono to where you sue and we won't charge you anything. If we win, we'll, and then you get into companies that go, well, it's
a scam.
But there needs to be a line to where, because our court system is just overrun right now. What are we going to do? How do we fix it? I don't have the answers, but we certainly hope one day all this gets straightened out. We do. Another headline, and I've been telling you this for the last couple of days, you were here when I talked about it, of Ron DeSantis, Donald Trump. In the media, they're trying to go, well, these two don't get along.
Oh, yeah.
What they don't want, they want to cause division within the Republican Party. Big Don speaks out yesterday. Donald Trump walks out and goes, whoa, hold on. Me and DeSantis have a good relationship. Now, does Donald say things that are blunt? Yeah. But he goes, we don't have a problem. The media truly is trying to cause a division within the Republican Party. That's what it's all about. So I say that in going, don't believe every headline that you read.
Yeah.
It's not. Take it for what it's worth. Always scan down and see who wrote the article.
Yeah, do your own research. That's the biggest issue. People will say you're on the social media and there's an ad and it's like this news thing. Well, it's obviously written by this super biased point of view and you believe everything about it and you don't look anything up and it's completely wrong. Do your own research.
And we've all been guilty of it. I have. I've glanced at something and goes, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then come to find out, well, that wasn't
wrong.
really, really true.
See, I wonder what happens to those. Do they get sued for that, or do they get backlash for putting that up or something?
No, because they'll take a teeny bit of the truth and twist it. No, it's just one of those things. The Supreme Court. Donald did not have a great day yesterday altogether. As you look at what the Supreme Court did, they voted 8-1 for the January 6th committee to access his White House documents. And here's how the votes went. Let me pull up this picture. Even the ones that he put in didn't do well. Only Clarence voted with Donald. The rest did not. Now, do I think that should have been handed over? I do not. I think most Americans agree with that. But we'll see what happens. It's almost like a witch hunt, so to speak. I think a lot of people agree with that.
We have those every day.
Yeah, we sure do.
Anybody, honestly. It's kind of scary.
The morning is getting along. And again, we want to remind you, if you got to go outside, get a jacket handy by the back door before you go to your car.
A jacket, a pair of gloves, a hat, a mask, some snow boots. You need all the above. Insulation, stuff that in your pants. You need it, definitely, for that wind. Cool is out there is what we've got. Let's follow up on a story that was brought up a few months back. We've been watching this develop. It was horror. There's no other way to word this. Houston, Texas is where it went down, to where a neighbor called the police. Something was weird going on. It was 3 to 4 children that were locked into an apartment. The parents weren't there. And as police investigated, it was one child that had been dead for weeks, and the other siblings were living with the deceased body decomposing. Yesterday, the parent and the boyfriend were indicted for what they done. Horrible. I can't think of, I'm sure that there's some sicko out there that could do something worse, but this is one of the most horrifying stories that you've ever read. And you know that these children will have trauma.
Have issues. Yeah,
They're going to have PTSD for sure. First of all, not everyone should have a child because of this. Who leaves their child there just to rot and die while the rest of the siblings watch them die? That's messed up.
Starved them to death. Here's the boyfriend. If you hadn't seen it in a while, here's the boyfriend here, Brian Cutler, and here's the mother that allowed that to happen.
It's
Gloria
just
Williams.
Awful. These poor kids, and I hope the kids got into a foster home or somewhere away from these people, because that is awful. Kids are innocent.
They are.
They don't deserve that kind of stuff. There's so many what is it? Serial killers? No, murder mysteries of kids and their horrible parents. They just die, and it's awful. Some people should not be parents.
They shouldn't be, but unfortunately, you can't pick and choose who.
I know.
But that's a headline in America. And you do as horrible as that story is, you do need to know about it. You do need to know what happens in other areas there. Pray for those kids. They need your prayers. It's going to be a long journey ahead for them. And let's hope that the court system does what's right in this, that they pay for what they've done. And, I'm human like you. It almost makes you want them to suffer because they put something horrible on a child.
Put them in a room, lock them up with no food, and see how it feels to them.
Yeah, they wouldn't like it.
No, exactly.
Yeah. So we hope that they go to prison for a very, very long time. We'll see what the judges do, and we'll report back to you when we know more about that. So that's what's that. We've got more coming up. Don't dare go away, because we're liable to tell something that you really like in a minute.
I might make fun of Daddy. You never know what's going to happen.
Oh, boy, oh, boy. That's all right around the corner. Thank y'all for dropping by. We'll come back and tell you about a few things that went on this day in history. That's next here with Scotty Ray and Madison, as Candace has still got the week off trying to recover. That's all on the way.
Rockhouse Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rockhouse will have the gun that you need, with a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rockhouse Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian. The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville are passing along these great savings this week. Mississippi sweet potatoes, 59 cents a pound. Red, yellow, or orange bell peppers, 2 for $3. Piggly Wiggly chicken noodle, tomato, cream of chicken, or mushroom soups, 26-ounce can, $1.39. Coca-Cola products, 12-pack, 12-ounce cans, 2 for $10. And certified Angus beef T-bone steaks, family pack, $10.99 a pound.
We're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray Madison. And I'm assuming George Ward it says it's sleeping in Philadelphia. I'm thinking you meant sleeting, I think.
I'd rather be sleeping, honestly.
I think that's what he meant. And, clarify that for me there, George, if you're still watching there, if y'all are getting a little sleep, if you're watching from the Philadelphia area, see if that's what he means by that. Let's look at a few things that happened in history on this date. And a lot of you will remember this name from, a simple movie. It was a little character. It was really based upon a real person. Buzz Aldrin.
Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear.
There is Buzz, real life Buzz.
Born in 1930 is what we have there. And that was a good movie. Now, I don't know whether there's any truth to this, but I'll repeat what I heard on this. But the guy, Tim Allen, who done the voice of that, they're doing another, what are they, at 3 or 4? I
think it's on the 6th one. There's Toy Story 4 and then 5.
They're not letting him do the voice of Buzz Lightyear on this one. Is it because he has a straightforward opinion of America? Maybe. Has he been stamped out? We don't know. But he's not going to be the voice this time.
Boo.
That's what I said. I like
that's
him.
stinky. It's big stinky.
1965. I remember this old boy, and it might shock you. Some of you might know who his brother is. John Michael Montgomery was born on this day. And of course, he had the song Sold the Grundy County Auction. A lot of string of hits. I Swear, that was his big one. But he is also Montgomery Gentry, Eddie Montgomery's brother. Maybe you didn't know that.
I did not know that. I don't even know who this man is.
You don't know him?
No.
Sold the Grundy County Auction. You don't remember that? Okay,
no.
Madison.
I know Rascal Flatts.
Bless you. I'm trying to educate you. I'm going to pass away one day.
Look,
You need to know these things.
I need to educate you about my music. And you won't like it.
No.
Because all you listen to is country.
That's the way it is. I have to have my stories.
Hi, Granny.
Is Granny up and at 'em
Yes.
today?
Hi. I'm doing good. Thank you.
Yeah. Let's see if Granny makes us some banana pudding as a 1967. You'll remember this lady for a very short stint on Fox News. She wasn't there very long, but she also done the movie, I think, Legally Blonde. Stacey Dash celebrates her birthday today. She had a very short career on Fox. It was kind of weird. I'll be honest about that. Very pretty lady, but it just didn't work out for her there. This is a newcomer to country music that has a birthday today. Couldn't identify any of his songs, but I've heard of him. Brantley Gilbert has a birthday today. I may know one, and I'm not aware that I know it.
I don't know him either.
Yeah, but he's having a birthday today. Mr. Earring there.
Mr. Earring.
As you can see there, he does have a earring there in that
Looks like
ear.
a gauge with a hoop in it.
Yeah, you would have to really hold me down to put one of them on me. Whew, it'd be a bad day. If y'all see me wearing earrings, something's gone south.
I think you'd be crying.
I would be. 1973, he was known as the Killer. He's done a lot, and he made his Opry debut in 1973, and boy, he played that piano some kind of good. It was January of that year. Maybe you were there. Maybe you had a guest appearance there to be in Nashville for some reason and got to see it. But Jerry Lee still lives in Mississippi. What a great musician he is. 1985, that was the year that, well, we got to watch Back to the Future for the first time. I think I was in 10th grade back then, and Alabama released this song on this day, and it would become a number one for them. Who remembers There's No Way?
They look familiar.
Alabama. Play me some mountain music.
Mountain music.
They will forever go down in history of being one of the biggest from the 80s and 90s in country music. They were big. I knew the later edition of this lady, of her movies. I didn't know the young one. I saw her after she had a stroke and her speech was not what it was. It was a big movie called On Golden Pond. Who remembers that? And that's what I remember her as. But before that, she was a knockdown, gorgeous lady. Today, Audrey Hepburn passed away at the age of 63 back in 1995.
A lot of girls look up to her, like what she did and how she dressed. They really love her. Like, she was a good role model for girls back then, and probably still now if people look back into her.
I didn't realize when I started looking at pictures and pulling them up.
Who that was?
Yeah.
Well, she looks a lot different.
She does, but she was a gorgeous woman in her heyday. Mm-hmm. And of course, On Golden Pond was huge. And I haven't watched that movie in forever. It's still out there. Nesbitt, Mississippi, is where Angela said where Jerry Lee is today. Got the gates. Every now and then he has a garage sale that you can go up to.
Oh, nice.
One of the big ones that come out of Memphis there. Let's see. I remember Dylan Ray telling me about this, your brother, going, we need to sit down and watch this. He and I sat down and I watched 15 minutes and I said, that's bad. And I walked away, and it would be 4 more years before he convinced me to sit down and watch the first episode and the second one again. Once I'd done that, I was forever hooked. It was that first 30 minutes of the show that was not really good, and I lost interest. But boy, this show went on to be something else. Breaking Bad. It premiered on this date back in 2008. And for those of you that don't know what that show was about, it was about a guy that's a high school teacher. He doesn't have very much in life, and he finds out he's got cancer and he's going to die. And he goes, oh my gosh, I've got a new baby, and I've got a child that has a, what do you have, epilepsy or something to that degree.
I never watched the show.
A special needs child. And he goes, I have no money to leave my family. What am I going to do? I got to do something. Well, he was a science high school teacher, and he decides, well, I got to do it even if it's wrong. And he starts making meth to make a little extra money just to give his wife when he dies. Well, it turns out he was really good at what he did, and he becomes the biggest drug dealer there is, and he goes through his life of trying to make money to give to his family when he dies. You'd be shocked. The different twists and turns. Breaking Bad.
Everyone loves that show. I never watched it. Granted, I was like not appropriate age to watch that when it premiered and everything like that, but still though, a lot of people love that show.
Oh, boy. And you go to a fried chicken place, and all you do is think of the guy that sold chicken that was a front.
Oh, no.
The man made more money. Walter White was his name. You ever hear that? Walter White. Like the best show. Now, I'm dead serious on this. If you want to sit back and watch a great TV show that is kind of like a modern-day Andy Griffith, y'all ever heard of that? And let me think of it. I just went blank there. What's his name? The Cop series.
Series?
Yeah, Longmire.
Oh, don't know that.
It is the absolute best that I have watched in years. It's a small-town Wyoming show, and you can order it on Netflix and all this and sit back and watch it. It's six years of it. First 3 years was on regular television, and then it went to Netflix, and they produced it. But an absolute great show. I've watched it twice, and I'm probably going to go back and watch it a third time. The best I've ever seen. So check that out. 2009, America changed. Was it for the best? Well, that's your decision to make that. But on this date in 2009, Obama was sworn in as the 44th president. I made a mistake there. A few years later, this would happen. The 45th president, Donald, was sworn in on this date also. And as you go back, Ronald Reagan, a lot
All
of
of them
others
were sworn in today.
on the 20th of January. But a momentous day for presidents being sworn in. As Betsy said, Longmire was good. I agree with you, girl, there. Now, I have to, Roy said Sons of Anarchy. I've heard that is great. I have never watched it. Is that one of those that I need to watch?
I don't know. I don't
You've
watch.
never watched
I don't
it either?
watch TV shows anymore. I just play video games, and
Madison,
I just stay on YouTube. That's all I do.
I've got to educate you.
Well, maybe
trying.
I should educate you.
I'm older. I know more.
So you need to learn more too.
I've been down those paths. And I've said many, many times, my parents, bless their hearts, if they would have just had a conversation with me and told me about life and what things cost and what the real world's about, I might have been ahead of the ball game. I didn't get that conversation. I learned the hard way a few things. And I know things that you need to know.
And country
Don't y'all-
music is not about that.
Oh,
Though.
that's just entertainment. I know real life experiences that can really help you. When I tell you something, it's the truth, girl. Pay attention. Angela White says she's watched all of those. But maybe I do need to watch Sons of Anarchy. It was about a motorcycle group, if I remember. We'll see there. Let's see what else went on. That kind of wraps up what went on this day in history. A lot of even JFK was sworn in on this day. And as America moves forward, already 22, we've got midterms coming up. We'll see what happens there. That's not far off, is it? No, it's not. Let's take a minute and let's see here. Let's talk about our friends over at Maple's One Stop Shop. As we watch gas prices, they try to keep those as low as they absolutely can for you all around town. They've got 6 locations. Yep, they sure do. You can find them out in Causeyville as well. Downtown Meridian, you'll find them there in Broadmoor. They've got these as you like the cold coffee. They've got that for you. Always a clean place. Their countertops are clean. Their stores are swept. My wife made the comment when she walked into the country store the other day just how clean it was. That's what they do. They've changed things around. They've taken back over. Visit one of their stores. You'll enjoy yourself. Talk to them. They like feedback as well. The loyalty coffee program, your 6 cup of coffee is free. They'll punch your card. Just ask for your card. They'll give it to you. Sometimes they're busy. You might forget. Ask for it. Now, as you go inside, you're going to get your drinks, anything that you even a bottle of water. Maybe you need some sunflower seeds. They keep all that handy for you when you go in.
They also got cold coffee that I see up there in the top shelf, you know.
Yep.
Like cold coffee is a great thing.
Right there's what Madison's after. You'll find it there. Of course, great lunches at $4.99 for pizza and chips and a drink. You can even get a fountain drink for 99 cents, any size. Lottery tickets and a whole lot more. From Bonita, Pine Springs, all of these different locations, visit the place that saves you money and keeps it clean for you. Maple's One Stop Shop. Drop in and visit them today.
Making my way back home from the grocery store, I was struck by an 18-wheeler. It was horrible. My life changed in an instant, and I discovered I needed help.
I'm Mississippi Attorney Richard Schwartz. I'm proud to represent the people of the great state I call home.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our communities efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
It's nothing like taking a pause from television show to rub your dog's belly.
She got mad at me. I didn't rub her belly. She gave me the side eye.
Somebody wanted to know what type of video games you play, Madison.
A lot. JRPGs, which is Japanese role-playing games. It's big in Japan. You wouldn't know, though, because you didn't go. And you don't play video games. You got mad at Duck Hunt one time. You said, I'm not playing video games no more.
When they were kids, they did get that. It was probably one of the first video games we had. It was Duck Hunt. And I was not, what do you call it when you just, your hands.
You're not coordinated.
Yeah, I'm not coordinated. And I got very aggravated, I guess is the word. And
You have no patience for them. Mama, on the other hand, she's funny when she plays video games because she constantly dies all the time. She runs off the stage or gets herself like smacked in the face by something. It's so funny. I love it when she plays games.
I'm just not coordinated enough to do it. And I'll be honest with you, there's certain things in life that I can't do.
Maybe I should teach you.
Maybe so. I mentioned this a moment ago. Let me fill in some clues of what it is, because at first when I heard all this, I didn't know what it was about. The FAA, AT&T and different phone companies are rolling out. We all have 4G right now. They're moving to 5G. And you go, well, what's wrong with that? Well, there's rumor that it could hurt airplanes. And I was still scratching my head going, I don't understand. Let me read you what this says. It says, officials with the FFA and airplane manufacturer Boeing have warned that there is a potential for interference with vital aircraft instruments that operate in the 4.2 to 4.4 megahertz range, such as radio altimeters that tell pilots their altitude where they are in the air. When they're flying in, a lot of times an airplane has to land, they can't see because of fog, and they have to rely on these instruments to land the plane without seeing. It says, in short, the fear is that the false altitude readings could confuse pilots as they approach a runway in poor visibility conditions with potential disastrous results. Some of these planes are the Boeing 787, 777, 737s. After this come out, stock has flopped, has taken a huge tank for 3.5% for Boeing yesterday after this was released. But they're still going to release this. Could it ground airplanes? It could cause flight delays across America. It could. There's more to be learned about this. What's going to happen? I don't know.
May have to get a new system or something.
Well, they're rolling it out, and the planes rely on this. What happens? I don't know. We also see that there's a lawsuit coming up. $10 million lawsuit. A Florida woman is suing Southwest Airlines, and she gets on the airplane and she wants a drink of water, and she pulls her mask down to drink the water, and she was met by a hostile flight attendant. It got very ugly. She's suing over it. Said the flight attendant got ugly and lost her temper on her because she wanted water.
I don't know why, because they allow you to have drinks and food on the plane, and you can remove your mask if you're drinking it. So if she goes to drink it, she's okay. But I guess this woman was not having it and didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah. Now, who was in the right? I think it's okay to drink water, but that's what's happening out there.
You get dehydrated on a plane so easily, so you need to drink water, or they would have a passenger passed out in the middle of the aisle. Would you rather have that?
We've got more that we're going to learn from this mask stuff. This ain't over. As we have one group saying masks are wonderful, while other groups say it's not.
I say masks are great in the winter because it shields your face from that nasty wind.
That's called a scarf, Madison.
You know what? I ain't got one.
Well, we need to get you one for Christmas next year.
I'll just wear my mask out at the gas pump because I'd rather have that. I can't have it wrapped around my neck to keep me warm and then pull it up. It's just going to fall down.
Yeah, we need to educate you.
And you can't even say the word educate.
We found out yesterday, this is another story, sad. A U.S. Marine was involved in a wreck. There was, I think, 19 people that were in the truck that were going down the road. They went to turn at an intersection. He was going too fast, and he flipped over. 2 Marines were killed. He's going to be charged for dangerous driving that left those 2 dead. That's horrible. That went on yesterday. It was in North Carolina. Maybe you saw the headline of that pop up on your phone during the day. But that's what happened. We've all seen it, like a dump truck go to take a turn, and the weight shifts as it turns, and that's what happened there. And it had military men in it, and 2 died.
Driving is scary.
We pass along condolences to their family there. As we talk about news stories that happen, a lot of times the liberal side, or what we call the left, don't want you to really know what's going on. One of the big catastrophes that's happened, as you and I have talked about it several times, is the student from UCLA that got murdered by the guy that walked into the furniture store where she was working and she was stabbed to death. Well, does everybody report it? Let's look at some of the headlines here as we look at this. This is lawmakers call for investigation into COVID. We go down and look at ABC. Look, they didn't have it either. U.S. News didn't have it. You just keep going down here, and they never reported what happened on this. It's almost as if they didn't want you to know that in the headlines. They may have mentioned it somewhere else, but they didn't. CNN was one of the worst with this.
It's usually how it goes.
As you dig more into this guy, he never needed to be on the streets. He's been arrested there.
You see how long he stays in?
He's on $2 million bail right now as we look at this. Brian Kupfer is his name. So we hope he pays the price for what he done. Do you remember we also brought up the Times Square thing, where New York City, the subway,
yes,
where someone was pushed in front of a train?
Came up behind her and just shoved her.
Would you believe that the guy that done it was wanted? Was a criminal?
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
He was wanted.
The streets of America is being overrun with criminals that are repeat offenders. Still, I bring this up all the time. Judges need to do their job to hold those that don't need to be in society. There's a lot of people that can't mingle with others.
Yeah, they're just mean. Like they got, like I say, the devil's in them. It's taking over and just being hostile.
One of the biggest people that kind of do what we do of talk shows and talk, Joe Rogan. Have you ever heard of him? He's on Spotify. It's millions of people that watch him every day. He got a letter that was sent to Spotify that said that he needed to be taken off the air because of his comments on masks. They even quoted that it was 270 doctors that signed the letter that said he needed to come off. Well, guess what? Rump row, as you get into this, the truth was stretched. I don't think a veterinarian is a medical doctor, do you?
For dogs, yeah, but not a human doctor.
Let me see. How about a dentist? Oh, yeah, they're not a medical doctor either. And the list goes on and on when you got into this, and it was really studied. It was not medical doctors that were asking for this. It was people that had PhDs that were called doctors. So if you back up and you go, well, they said doctors, well, maybe they didn't lie, but they took the truth and stretched it to their benefit.
They gave them the wrong title.
Yeah. Joe Rogan's big. He has a lot to say. He has a lot of famous guests that join him every day that he talks to. He's in L.A., if I'm not mistaken, there. A big population there that follows him. So that's a headline there. I look at this, parents, and if you lost a child to somebody that's a criminal, wouldn't you want the absolute worst punishment put on them for your child losing their life?
Oh, yeah.
There was a young lady in New York in a park. She was robbed for her phone. Let me show you her picture. This has been a while. Let's show you her picture. She was a child. She was going to be somebody's wife one day. She would have been a mother. She's not going to be that anymore. She was robbed and killed for her phone. A phone, $1,000 at most thing in a park in New York. You know what the person that done that?
Probably 6 months in jail.
14 years, but also with the chance of parole. Now, will they serve 14 years? Probably
not. If they're
not.
on good behavior, they're probably going to get out in like a year or so, like they always do. People can fake kindness, and that's what they do in prison, so they can get out early and then do something else.
This small sentence compared to somebody that no longer has a life. Again, I go, where are our judges? And that's just one of my thoughts there as you begin your day to think on. It's write your senator. Tell them what you think there. You have to speak up in America. You just can't let it keep going like that. That's just my thoughts.
You speak
maybe
up.
Maybe you agree, maybe you don't.
If you speak up, you get canceled.
That happens a lot in America. Oh, boy. Yeah, let's see here. Gabby says hello.
Hello, Gabby.
Let's talk about our friends at Snowden and Company. What do? Well, they sell homes and they help you find what you're looking for. That's all they do there, and they're very good at it. Real estate, right here in Meridian. 3 of the best sellers that they've got there, Amanda, Leslie, Don, they got a whole heap of folks over there, including our newest addition there, Elizabeth. She's helping them out now. If you need to sell your home, talk to them first at Snowden and Company. Why? Well, they're just like you. They understand that it was one of your biggest investments. It was, and you've got to sell it to either upgrade or downsize. They're going to help you on both sides of it, selling your home and purchasing your next home. Whatever the case is, from homes that you can glance through like this. I need to update some more. They've got some more great ones there. If you need a pond, they've got that for you also. Now, they're open today until 5. You can make an appointment for Saturday. They're going to be closed on Sunday. Have we mentioned maybe you're looking for a double wide? They've got that. Maybe you need just an acre. Maybe you need 5, 10 acres with your double wide. They can find that for you. Whatever you're looking for, they'll bend over backwards to take the time and show you with honesty. That's what they do at Snowden and Company. Talk to them. You can call them, 453-3937. Amanda's there. She heads it up. Known her all her life. I give her my thumb of approval.
Your thumb of approval?
Yeah. See her today. She'll help you there. Amanda, she's a designated seller, certified real estate negotiating expert, and she can be your friend because, well, she's a great person. See them at Snowden and Company Real Estate. They'll help you today.
I'm Kim from Tupelo, Mississippi, and it took one call and that was all. I called my Mississippi attorney Richard Schwartz and he got me $335,000.
If you need me, Mississippi, remember, one call, that's all.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Madison this year. Let's see here. I don't know how this could happen. You have best friends. You remember their birthdays all the time, don't you? You remember mine every year.
Yeah.
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 Let's
Yours
just
is
say
coming up February.
It is.
Well, how old would you be, Will?
5. I got a 5 in the front.
I think there's a 2 or 1.
Oh, I think it's one more than that. I think it's a 3 involved.
3?
I think.
You're lying.
No, I think I'm going to be 53 this year. Can you believe that?
That doesn't sound right to me. I think you're lying.
Yeah. Get your arithmetic out and do some subtractions on that. Yeah.
No thanks.
But most of us are pretty good. Every now and then you forget an anniversary, and you have to admit, I've made some big boo-boos on anniversaries with
You
your
always
mama.
give mama a card that says, to my loving husband, and not to my loving wife.
And I have to say...
You don't read them.
Well, no, it's that sometimes my vision isn't great, and I think it says one thing, and it says another. I have to have things like really close to read it, and I got to have surgery. But I have made that not once, but twice.
A lot.
She's gotten a husband card. Whoops. Yeah, I'm not perfect. But let's look at this. Let's analyze this. Say you're a mother. You have a child, a baby. Each year, it's customary to throw your child a birthday party. Is it not?
Oh, yeah.
What happens when the mama, and I really question the mama. Here's a story that's in the news today to where she's been giving her child a birthday party every year on the wrong day. She had her kid's birthday totally wrong.
Well, if she has 4 other kids, I would be confused too on whose birthdays is whose.
Yeah, but calendars, write it out. She's got a bunch of kids. She does, but she's been giving this poor wee one the wrong birthday party for the last 2 years and just discovered it. She's embarrassed.
This poor woman. I feel so bad for her.
So what do? How do you straighten that out? There's Mama. Let's show a picture of her. Here she is there. She's trying to explain what she done wrong.
I think I actually saw this the other day.
Bless her
Scrolling
heart.
through TikTok.
Yeah, that did happen. Now, anniversaries are easy to forget, but your kid's birthday, a mama has like that like instinct where they wake up in the middle of the night and go, I had you like 25 years ago at this exact moment.
When's my birthday?
August 25th.
Really? Because you always say 27th.
It's the 25th. I do remember.
Yeah, because that's when you bought your 4-wheeler.
So I still remember it. Let me show you. I think we got just enough time for this. I want to show you this and see if you think that this is for real or not. This is not in America, but they claim that this place is haunted. Like there's spooks in it.
If a place claims it's haunted, I will believe that it's haunted. Police
have been called to it many, many times because people feel like they're getting touched. Here's the video. Let's look at this. Now, is this rigged? I don't know. But this lady's got a spoon, a pencil in her hand. Watch this. That it's going to play it. Okay. She got scared there.
Right.
All right. They're going to do this in slow motion here in just a second here where you can actually see. Watch this pen.
On normal time, then do slow.
Right. Kind of looks like it just rolls down her fingers.
You see it? It twisted. It jumped out. She says it was a ghost. What do you think?
If they say there's a ghost, I believe there's a ghost there. Ghosts are spooky, okay? And you could care less about them. You go in haunted places all the time, and you're not bothered by them, but I am. I don't want to, get haunted by ghosts. No, thank you.
Did they have a string on that? Is there an explanation? I don't know. But they say that incident has happened many times. People's keys in the restaurant sliding off, and people go to freaking out, so to speak.
Did see a video on TikTok of this guy. He was asleep, and he has a night camera. And in the middle of the night, his alarm clock slid across and smacked him in the head.
Well, there you go.
Could have been an angry
That's
ghost.
called your wife.
Oh, no.
Happy birthday goes out to Al folks in Tumsuba. Happy birthday. Hope it's a big
Happy
one
birthday.
there. Let's see here. Lori Rice, Fellowship, Mississippi, in Jasper City. Not exactly what she's referring to. Is that where you're watching from? A few of those. Stay warm. Have a great day, Anita says. We do hope so. As we glance at a couple of these, I was looking for some comments. Great show today, Bill said. Thank you for watching. Cindy Hatcher's been watching from Lauderdale. We appreciate that. Let's see here. What else here? Morning from Macon, Pat Banks. Thank you. And again, to everybody that joined us this morning, we say thanks so much for being here. We do hope Candace is starting to feel a little bit better. We'll check in on her again today, see how she's feeling there. Maybe she'll get to return back on Monday. We hope so. You've been doing a great job this week with us.
Yes, I am.
All right. So we've mentioned, I think you are. We've got a lot going on. Be careful today. It's going to be some wet streets. We want you to get where you're going safely, no matter where you're going. And bundle up, get your jacket. Remember, tonight, tomorrow night are going to be in the 20s. Tomorrow night, about 23 degrees.
I suggest don't go outside. Just stay inside for the next couple of days. Honestly, just don't go anywhere. You don't need to go anywhere.
Thank y'all for dropping by. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning at 8. Thanks a bunch.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by